This is the perfect art of balancing, and each time I see them, I'm awestruck. Hello and welcome to Kaleidoscope with me, Savitri Rodrigo, and right behind me are the unique stilt fishermen of Sri Lanka, a traditional mode of fishing in the country where fishermen guard their poles with their lives, and these poles are passed down from generation to generation. Marching on ahead with Kaleidoscope today, autism is a difference, not a disability. Kesara Kahandaliyanage proves that people with autism are just as capable as anyone else, and he is joined by consultant psychiatrist Dr. Yashoda Rohanachandra in Selinco Life Let's Talk. On our People's Bank News Capsule, Chairman of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority, Professor Asitha De Silva, gives a thumbs up for the local manufacture of pharmaceuticals. Chairman of Jetwing Hotels and Jetwing Travels, Shiromal Kure, says a vaccine will be the panacea for tourism. And counseling psychologist Nivendra Uduman explains the signs when someone is contemplating suicide. And in Singer Life in 60, Anusha Senadira inspires with some awesome hand-painted porcelain. We'll be back with People's Bank News Capsule.
Technology is key in moving forward to transform every challenging moment into a profit, where manual becomes digital, business becomes smart, and lives become smarter. People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. It's truly the change you need.
We begin our People's Bank News Capsule today with a look at the good old coconut tree. Coconut-based products have become a huge export success story in recent months, recording significant upside in the export of liquid coconut milk, coconut oil and coconut fiber products. In contrast, year-on-year, Sri Lanka's exports fell by $86 million, a drop of 19%. The ADB predicts that Sri Lanka's economy will shrink by 5.5% this year due to the heavy economic toll of COVID-19 on livelihoods and businesses. But we are not alone in this region. The Maldives is expected to contract by 20%, India is down by 9%, but with only Bangladesh showing resilience with estimated growth of 5.2%. And while Sri Lanka improved her ranking in the Economic Freedom of the World Index from 98 to 83, Moody's listed Sri Lanka as being among 3 countries with the greatest external risk due to credit pressures from large dollar-denominated debt repayments. Sri Lanka currently has $1 billion in international bond repayments due just in October. If Sri Lanka starts manufacturing at least 50% of its pharmaceuticals locally, the country can save as much as $60 million annually. Currently, Sri Lanka spends nearly $130 million each year on importing pharmaceuticals while manufacturing only around 150 of the 1,100 pharmaceuticals required. I asked the chairman of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority, Professor Asitha De Silva, how locally manufactured pharmaceuticals would stack up against imports from a regulatory perspective.
For the regulator, what matters is the product. Whether it's imported or locally manufactured, we look at quality, safety, efficacy, need as well as affordability. So if those parameters can be ticked, for the regulator, what matters is the product for the patient. However, having said that, there's a WHO principle that guides us, which tells us that if we can visualize the entire production chain of a product, for example, a local product, we can visualize, we can look at the plant on a regular basis, we can see the product's life cycle. That has more importance for us than a product that comes from outside, which we cannot visualize from beginning to end to end. So in that sense, yes, we will be happier to look at local products simply because we can visualize the entire production line.
It's been a roller coaster ride for oil prices this year, starting with January, where it started at $61, moving to a high of $63 and then crashing to $11.26 per barrel. Oil is currently trading at $39.65 per barrel, and year-on-year oil prices are down by 37%. Gold prices are down marginally at $1,944 per ounce, but gold still shines brightly, recording a 30% increase in prices year-on-year. Our Colombo Stock Exchange went digital this week. The fully digital onboarding experience, described as a paradigm change, enables seamless post-trade and settlement, adopts e-contract notes and e-statements, and electronic dividend payments. And in market performance, there was positive news from the Colombo Stock Exchange. Compared to last week, the indices moved up by 4.5% and the average daily turnover moved up to 2.8 billion rupees. There is no doubt that Sri Lanka is well deserved of the crown of being a global tourism hotspot. In recognition of this, the world's leading channel for consumer and business news, CNBC, is giving Sri Lanka $100,000 worth of free advertising as a goodwill gesture. But with the airport closed indefinitely and no signs of a resuscitation of the winter season, I asked the chairman of Jetwing Hotels and Jetwing Travels, Shiromal Kure, how Sri Lanka's tourism industry is going to cope with the uncertainty.
So the thing is, yes, we were hoping that the airport would open, but we knew people were not going to come soon as it's open. So maybe it would have given some indication to the people that, it is open. But however, we also understand lives are as important as the livelihoods of tourism related people. So it's I suppose a case of waiting and hoping things will improve. First the COVID situation needs to improve, and then we need to build some resilience, and hoping that we can survive. Fortunately for those in the hotel industry, I must say the Sri Lankan community has really rallied around and they are supporting. They are going during weekends and weekdays and doing different excursions. So that is helping. People in other countries are also as affected as we are. So we are all hoping this vaccination, I think that's if you ask me for a light or for a thing, that should be the vaccination. If that can be rolled out quickly and if it is effective, I think that's going to be the issue, the thing that's going to make a turnaround.
Well, the good news is that the race to develop a vaccine is at breaking point, with countries launching major tests to find a prevention or a cure for COVID-19. There will eventually be a vaccine, but when? And that is the question the tourism industry is hoping for an answer to. Travel restrictions have not, however, deterred some businesses like Selingco Life. The life insurance leader, heralding a new paradigm in response to travel restrictions, is rewarding loyal policyholders with 30 million rupees worth of gold, an alternative to the family safari overseas holidays. 600 policyholders who keep their life insurance or retirement plans active for 1 year until August 2021 will be eligible for the Gold Bonanza. Sri Lanka generates about 400 metric tons of plastic daily, and while only 30% of plastic waste returns to the shoreline, 70% of it remains in the ocean. Apparel giant MAS Holdings launched a pilot in the Dahibala Canal to work as an ocean strainer, trapping plastic before it goes out to sea. Sri Lanka is ranked 29th in the world for suicide, and it is estimated that about 8 to 10 people commit suicide every day, although this figure may be larger as many suicides go unreported. World Suicide Prevention Day was last week. And in remembering that most suicides could be prevented, I asked counseling psychologist Nibendra Uduman what signs we should be looking out for to prevent someone from going down that road.
So one of the most important things is that someone may talk about it, not always in a direct sense, but people may say things like they feel trapped, they feel like everything is dark and there's no escape, they feel like they're caught in the middle and can't get out. Some people might say they feel stuck. Other people might say things like, I just want to leave, I've had enough. So there are so many things that people might say when they're contemplating suicide. And besides just talking about it, people may also post status updates on social media. It may be Instagram posts, or it may be even just said jokingly. So the important thing is to take every disclosure very seriously and not take anything lightly when it comes to suicide. Also, people may tend to act very agitatedly and be more anxious than normal. People may be abusing alcohol and other substances more frequently than before, or someone who didn't before may have suddenly started to do so. Their personal hygiene might sometimes deteriorate if they're thinking about suicide, and also maybe going through mental health problems. Besides that, their sleep and appetite may also be disturbed than normal. Also, you find a lot of people who may be thinking about suicide start to give away their possessions to other people. So if someone is suddenly doing that, like giving away their property, giving away the other things that they own, that might be a warning sign that we need to look out for. And also, if someone has purchased things quite out of the ordinary suddenly, like it may be some sort of medication that one does not normally use, or it may be some poisonous substance or anything else that they can use to take their life or to harm themselves, we need to always take into account and ask them about it if we notice a family member or a friend behaving in that manner.
Lionel Messi is now the world's wealthiest footballer, earning $126 million this year, elbowing out Cristiano Ronaldo, who earned $117 million US. Ugly duckling, that's the name given to a rare albino seal pup spotted on Russia's Tuleni Island. The pup has ginger fur, blue eyes and pink flippers and sets him apart from his peers. And like the ugly duckling, there are signs that the little guy is being shunned by his peers. And if the heat is getting to you, try breaking a record like this Austrian. He sat in a tub filled with 200 kilograms of ice for 2 hours, 30 minutes and 57 seconds, wearing just his swimming trunks. Not a bad idea to beat the heat. So that's it on our People's Bank News Capsule this week. We'll be back with Kesara Kahandaliyanage and his mother Malathi and Dr. Yashoda Rohanachandra focusing on autism on Selingco Life. Let's talk.
With Selingco Life Pension Saver, Sri Lanka's premier retirement plan, start planning for a retirement today. Selingco Life, a relationship for life.
On Selingco Life Let's Talk today, we turn our focus on autism. In My Name is Khan, Shah Rukh Khan spotlighted Asperger's syndrome. In the TV series The Good Doctor, Freddie Highmore plays Dr. Sean Murphy, a doctor with Savant syndrome. Both these are developmental disorders in the autism spectrum. Little is known about autism because even though 1 in 160 children in the world have autism, those with autism are relatively misunderstood. Autism as a diagnosis is often referred to as autism spectrum disorder, where the word spectrum is used to draw attention to the wide range of severities and types of the disorder that can occur. It's for exactly that reason that they say if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. No two cases are the same. Autism is a lifelong developmental disability. Individuals with autism may have trouble communicating and socializing with others and or regulating their own behavior, all of which can occur to varying degrees. But with the appropriate services and adaptations, and most importantly, an accommodating culture of love and acceptance, many of the challenges that individuals with autism face on a daily basis can be mitigated. This is why it's imperative that we as a society break the stigma surrounding autism. But here's the thing. Those with autism are just as capable as everyone else of achieving incredible success. Take Ghostbusters star Dan Aykroyd, artist Andy Warhol, director Stanley Kubrick, or comedian Jerry Seinfeld, actor Sir Anthony Hopkins, or Britain's Got Talent star Susan Boyle. They are all on the autism spectrum and good examples that achieving the impossible is possible. Today on Selingco Life Let's Talk, my guests give us an insight as to what we as a society can and must do to accommodate and integrate those with autism to collectively benefit from the different dimensions people with autism can add to our lives. So, consultant child and adolescent psychiatrist and senior lecturer at the Sri Jayawardenepura University, Dr. Yashoda Rohanachandra, mother of a child with autism, Malathi Kahandaliyanage, and Kesara Kahandaliyanage, her son, a young man with autism who together with the support of his family founded K's Kitchen, doing what he loves to do, cook, is on Selingco Life Let's Talk. Let's first hear from Dr. Rohanachandra. I asked her how much awareness there is in Sri Lanka about autism.
So I would say that over the years that awareness in Sri Lanka has improved, but still it's very much lagging behind the rest of the world. So autism is something that can be diagnosed as early as 18 to 24 months, but we find that in Sri Lanka most children present around 3 years of age, because the parents have failed to recognize the signs of autism, and mostly they present with speech delay, whereas the other signs and symptoms of autism that have been present even before that have been missed by the parents. So because of the delayed presentation, we miss the opportunity for early intervention, so more awareness is needed.
So society cannot always identify a person with autism. It's not visible out there. What are the signs we should be looking for?
So there are 3 cardinal features. So one is impairment in communication. So that includes both verbal and non-verbal communication. So verbal communication, they may have speech delay. So usually by about 1 year we expect a child to say one meaningful word, and about 2 years the child should be able to put 2 words together and tell a simple phrase. So there might be speech delay, or there might be speech regression, where the child starts speaking normally but then loses the speech that he has acquired between 18 to 24 months. And sometimes the child may be speaking in jargon language where nobody can understand. And also then it affects non-verbal communication as well. So they may have poor eye contact, poor gestures, less facial expressions. And the other cardinal feature is poor social interactions. So they may want to spend time on their own rather than playing with their friends, or rather than being with their parents, and they may respond poorly to their name. They might not be able to recognize other people's feelings and not make friendships. And the last feature is they may have restricted interest and behaviors. So some may have repetitive movements, repetitive rocking, or rocking to and fro movements, or repetitive jumping, or sometimes they may repeat the words that they have previously heard, or they may have problems with sensation. Sometimes they feel things too much or feel things too less. They like routine and structure. So those are the things that we need to look for in a child with autism.
So how do we engage and interact with an autistic person?
Yeah, so children or people with autism, they do really well with structure and routine. So if a child with autism has a daily routine that he can follow, that will make things very much easier for him. And also when communicating with someone who has autism, we have to keep in mind about their communication difficulties. So always use simple language, and try to avoid combining multiple ideas in one sentence. So communicate one idea at a time. And also avoid using ambiguous language, because they tend to be literal in their understanding. So clear, straight language should be used. And also they do better if they are given a choice rather than being asked an open-ended question. So given 2 options to choose from would be easier for them. And also in teaching settings in school, they are better at visual learning. They are visual learners. So whatever the message that you are giving, you are teaching, if you can accompany it with a visual sort of a picture or a graph, that would do better. And also the physical structure would be important for them. So color coding, having separate areas for separate activities, color coding their books and other things that they can use. So that might help in teaching and classroom management.
Are autistic people vulnerable to sexual and physical abuse?
Yes, of course, because they may have because of their poor communication, they will have difficulty in telling anyone if such abuse is going on. And also sometimes because of the behavioral issues, they can be difficult to manage, and the caregivers may be under a lot of strain. So in that case, physical abuse can also be more common in these children.
How do we as parents, teachers, as a society tell autistic children what to be aware of when it comes to sexual abuse or physical abuse?
Yeah, so most people think that it's not important to educate them because they can't understand, but it's very important that you educate a child with autism about protecting themselves. So you can educate about private parts. You can use even pictures to tell them that these parts are private and should not be allowed to touch by anyone else. Or you can use simple stories. We call them social stories. You can tell a story about an inappropriate behavior and how he should behave, in what he should do, how he should behave in such a situation. So stories is a good way. There are story books sometimes which teach children about their private parts and how to protect themselves. So reading those books can also be helpful.
Yes, we do have to keep in mind that by the very nature of the disorder, autistic children and young people could be subjected to physical and sexual abuse. When Kesara Kahandaliyanage first began working at a catering establishment, he was subjected to sexual abuse by some of his colleagues. All the progress made by Kesara's family to integrate him into society and give him independence went into regression, with Kesara just falling into an abyss of anger, non-communication and depression. For Kesara's mother Malati, while the journey has been challenging, the experience of nurturing Kesara to become an independent individual despite these setbacks has been a rewarding one.
Yeah, when Kesara was small, he never played with any toys that any other child would play with. His only interest were water and fire. And at that time he needed a lot of care because he didn't know it was dangerous, he could have hurt himself, and he had a lot of sensory issues. Hypersensitive and hyposensitive, he couldn't even wear clothes. So when he was younger, he's constantly playing with water, then I had to make sure that he learns how to use fire and water. The only thing that I could think of was cooking. So he started playing in the kitchen with us, learning how to cook using water, fire, so that was his interest. And at that time, I mean, when Kesara was in the early 90s, when he was diagnosed, they looked at him like an animal and he was asked to be tied up. But for me, the thing was I didn't want him to be a doctor or a proctor. My thing was people looking at him should not think him as an animal because of his behavior issues, but I knew that he couldn't help it. So that is why I became a special educator, so that I could help my son, so that he can learn to look at the world differently and the world will look at him as a child, not as an animal. So after all these years, after going through so many hardships, Kesara is ready to start his own thing, and I'm getting old. I need to make sure that this is sustainable, and we as a family will always support Kesara. So that's why K's Kitchen was started.
Kesara has taken his love for cooking and his dream of feeding people and making them happy into his own kitchen, calling it K's Kitchen. We were thrilled to have Kesara come into our studio and speak with us with help from his sister Shivanti. So what made you want to be a chef?
I like to cook.
Why do you like to cook so much?
Food to share people, make them happy.
So could you have started K's Kitchen by yourself without help from anyone?
I do the cooking.
Do you do anything differently when you're to fit in, when you're with other people?
I just stay and wait quiet.
What would you like to tell other people about autism?
To do something.
Follow their
Follow
dream.
dreams.
And what would you like to tell people about accepting people like you with autism?
I want them to give us time.
Give us time
Time
to do things
to do it on our own.
Don't
Don't
rush us.
rush us.
Don't
Shout at
yes, you tell.
for us.
It's difficult
for us
to
say
things
things
directly.
So what's next for Kesara? His dream is to own his own food truck one day, but in the meantime, Malati would like to open a small cafe which will become a safe place for those with special needs and be a larger part of the community and give them independence to stand on their own 2 feet. Early intervention can change a life. Look out for the signs and remember each person with autism has individual skills and interests. It is up to us to make them a productive part of the community and a contributor towards the larger process of national development. And if you're a parent or a teacher or just curious about autism, check out these websites.
With Salinco Life Pension Saver, Sri Lanka's premier retirement plan, start planning for your retirement today. Salinco Life, a relationship for life.
So that was Salinco Life Let's Talk, and we'll be back with Anusha Senadira, who shows us her dream works, Possum Love, on Singer Life in 60. And here we are with Singer Life in 60. Vincent van Gogh said, "I dream my painting and I paint my dream." That's exactly what Anusha Senadira does. She dreams her painting and then wakes up in a hurry to paint her dream. Possum Love is the product.
A brief on how I started this was during the pandemic. We had a lot of time on our hands, and there was lots of things that I thought I could do. It was from painting to making food to getting involved with justice for animals. My love is my dogs, or all dogs. So I thought, okay, I need to, while making some money and putting my talent to use, I thought, okay, I'll buy this Dunk Couture porcelain and start painting. So this is what I do. I take orders and I paint, and 10% of my sales will be to Justice for Animals for the purpose of neutering and spaying stray dogs all over Sri Lanka. Also to the ladies who have time on their hands, do it. You have talent hidden, you have a voice, make use of it. And you have no idea, by word of mouth, how we actually manage to sell our product. And it's not about making money, it's about keeping happy.
And Possum Love is dishwasher safe, and the paint will not peel in extreme heat or cold. Thank you, Anusha, for joining us in Singer Life in 60 with your awesome Possum Love hand-painted porcelain. And so, if you want to give us any feedback, suggestions or stories you'd like to see, please email us on kaleidoscopeweekly1@gmail.com. And if you'd like to watch us on Let's Talk, Life in 60 or our news capsule clips, you'll find it on our playlist on YouTube, or simply subscribe to Kaleidoscope with Savitri Rodrigo and join us weekly. So until next week, you have to wear your mask, but it's not like using your mask. You must remember there are germs on that mask. So here's a helpful reminder from UNICEF Sri Lanka. Common sense it may be, but we all tend to forget that masks need TLC too. Thank you, UNICEF Sri Lanka. Now, here's your Kaleidoscope takeaway. If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.